Welcome to another video. This one is super important because somebody has been poisoning the coaching space, and I don't know who it is, but there is an epidemic and it's costing you 5 figures a month, no doubt about it. And so I'm going to break it down what the problem is and also what the solution is, because it's actually very straightforward. So just to break it down, there's an epidemic right now. Somebody, for some reason, has told coaches and online business people in the space that putting a Linktree or a calendar link or some other random link in their bio is a good idea. And I do agree that putting a link in the bio is a great idea, but I don't agree that a Linktree is a good idea. I'm going to break down exactly why this is losing you so much money so you can literally see it for yourself. Because if you fix this one thing, and I'm going to show you what to replace it with to get those 5 figures per month back, if you fix this one thing, you're going to be back on top. So let's break it down. The hell? Okay, so here's the problem, right? And here's literally some examples of some people that I've seen today whose content I like, who for some reason have a Linktree and a Calendly link in their bio, which makes me feel a little bit like this. I'm not going to lie to you. So I've blacked it out just for privacy, but you can literally see very credible, serial entrepreneur and investor, LSE, London School of Economics, ex JP Morgan and Citibank, both tier one banks, very impressive, very hard to get into and work for. Calendly link. And it's like, what is it that you do? We don't know. It doesn't say here. We know you're a co-founder. We know you're a host, but like, why would I book in a call with you? Same thing right here. 12.5K followers, decent. Book a strategy call. Why? Why am I booking a call? Like, I've seen one reel. Like, why am I booking a call with you? Same thing here. Founder. They have a Linktree and a Facebook page. If I'm already on Instagram, I'm not trying to go to Facebook. We all know that also on Facebook, on phone, it will like open it up in Instagram's native search browser and it'll make you log in. It's just like it's such a headache. Same thing right here. I don't know what a campsite video is. This person is a founder. They've got 22K followers, very decent. They must do something in money or finance. They have this thing called campsite bio, which I've never seen before. So I'm not really sure what's on it or like what the link is. It never loads. And this is less of a problem these days because like load speed is so important. But this never loaded for me, and I was like actively waiting for it to load. If I was just a random person, I would have clicked off this in like 1 second because like I'm not that invested. And that's what we're going to come to. It's like, okay, why are these such bad? Like, why is putting a link tree in your bio so bad? You're gonna be like, why are you so fired up about this? And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Okay, so I want you to imagine that you were on Hinge or Tinder or Raya or something, and you're scrolling and you get a match with a guy, and you're like, I'm gonna go on this date. And he says to you, I'm picking you up at 7. We're going here. I've made the reservation. I'm coming to your house to pick you up. Wear this, and this is where we're going. You'd be like, cool. I don't have to think at all. Everything is organized. No stress. Then imagine that instead of that reality, you get a message, and he's like, where do you want to go? And you're like, I don't know. Where do you want to go? And you're like, what do you fancy eating? He's like, I don't know. You'd be so like turned off by that. Like literally get out my face. I don't have time for this. My point is that when it comes to prospects, and it's the same in the dating scenario, like you've literally seen this person's dating profile. That's pretty much all you know about them. Maybe you've had a little bit of back and forth and then you decide to go on a date. You're not actually that invested because you haven't met each other and you don't really know, like, you know, anything about them. It's exactly the same with people who see your Instagram. Like they might see one Instagram reel or two Instagram reels, they might follow you, but they're actually not very invested in you or what you do unless you have an extremely extravagant claim. And not all of your content is going to be extremely extravagant, like it just is the way it is, because that would be exhausting. So my point is that people actually don't care enough about you, respectfully, to book a calendar link or to like figure out where they're supposed to go. So if we actually break down what that looks like, one first reason why Linktrees and Calendly links suck basically is the same as what I just said, which is, and this is going to sound silly, but analysis paralysis. If I just come across your content, I watch 2 reels, I want to go to the profile, click follow, I see a link, I might click it. Yeah, cool. Like, what's this person got? And you hit me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 links. I mean, I'm just going to close that. Like, I don't have the capacity to click on this. Maybe I need this one. Like, maybe you read through. Maybe I'll click on this. I don't know. That's not what I want. Close. Like, fully, I'm not going to care enough. Oh, this is a real example, by the way. This as well, these are not too bad. There's 5 links, but again, it's like, should I go to the boot camp? Should I become an expert? Should I book a call? Should I do like no, like what are we doing? Why are we people are like toddlers. You have to tell them exactly what to do in order for them to do it. Same with the date, that people want to be told what to do, so they don't have to think, they can just do. Same with kids, they just tell them what to do and they'll either want to do it or they won't. Same with animals. You get the dog in the field, he herds the sheep go to the other field. Like it's literally like that. That's how you have to think of it. And the thing is, it's hard because as creators, our focus is like, hey, I may spent so much time on this. I know myself, I know my brand, and you get so absorbed into it that you're like almost forget that other people don't think or know your brand the way that you do. So we have to like basically take the love goggles for our own personal brand off and say like, hey, what do other people think about this? So the second thing, so that's the first thing, is like tell people what to do. And by that I mean put one link in your bio. I'm going to show you which link that is. And the second thing is drop off slash emotion. And this plays into like sales psychology, which again, if you're selling something that isn't sales, how are you supposed to know that this is the case, right? If you don't have the kind of experience, if you're someone that sells trading, mentorship, or Airbnb, that's your area of expertise. You're really good at like identifying and building a portfolio of short-term rentals and helping people do that. You don't know like how to sell people remotely. So that's the second thing. We're going to break this down next. So if we go to what link you should have in your bio and why it solves those two problems, something I like to call the fishing net VSL funnel. And basically what this is like if we look at a fishing net, I'm going to use an eco-friendly, climate change version of this. If I wanted to go out into the ocean and pick up all the plastic that was in the ocean, I would take a big fishing net like this, I would toss it out into the ocean, I would scoop up whatever it is that I scoop up, I would look inside and I would say, plastic, 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 fish, take the fish, throw it back into the ocean. I don't want that. That's not qualified to be on my net. To qualify to be in the net and stay in the net, you have to be plastic. So my point is that instead of putting 17 different links in your link tree, you want to put one, you want to capture everybody, and then you want to qualify or have a system, which I'm going to break down, that qualifies whether they book a call, whether they join the free community, whether they blah, 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 join the email list, whatever. You then filter qualified, not qualified. Okay. So here's what that looks like. The link in your bio needs to be a funnel because that's exactly what this is, right? Funnel, top is everybody. Then it's like you filter down, you filter down. So you got two options. I personally like having a VSL funnel as one of the main ones, and then doing a live webinar every month or so. And you can do a 20-day launch sequence for a webinar. I have a different video about that coming next week, so you can watch. Like, they're really good for cash injections. You can we've done like $200,000 off webinars, monthly. Like, it's crazy. But I recommend having a VSL funnel, which stands for video sales letter. And it's just a video. It's you speaking to the camera just like this. Forget the screen, just you and the camera speaking to one person. Don't say guys, don't say everyone, one person. You're selling them on three things. You as the coach, you're telling them why they should trust you, like believe in you, what your background is, all that stuff. Themselves, why can they do it? And this is where case studies come in really useful. I have a short form Instagram about that. And then the third one is the vehicle. So like, for example, if the goal is to make 10K a month, if you are someone who can get them to 10K a month through trading, why is trading the best vehicle instead of Airbnb, instead of e-commerce, whatever? Okay. So that's the three things you're going to want to sell them on. And you do that in a VSL funnel. And then, so you have the video. In fact, I'm going to show you, skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to show you an example. This is literally a VSL template I created because I still do like outreach to get clients. Sometimes this is a VSL that I literally created for a lead because she didn't have a VSL funnel. She had 1 million followers and no funnel. So this is an example. So the video would go here. It's literally headline. And the structure of the headline, which I literally have in a different video, but the structure of the headline is how can my ideal client get X result in Y time frame? So here, how to start a tax business from scratch and scale to 30K a month with zero prior experience. We could also change this to say how 9-to-5ers can start a tax business from scratch and scale to 30K a month in 90 days. Okay, so that's your headline. What result can you get people? Who are you getting it from? What time frame can they get it in? Video, this is where your VSL goes. I'll link the software below that we built to help you script your VSL template, like your script. You don't have to read it word for word, but you get the idea. And then a calendar link. That's literally all you need. And you'll be thinking, well, how do I qualify people? Why do I want to speak to brokies? Exactly. So now we come back up to our fishing net and we're going to filter through, and we're not going to do it manually. We're going to do something that looks a little bit like this. So this is a funnel that we've used for a bunch of different offers where they get the option, for example, here to like watch the VSL and then they book an appointment. In there's going to be 5 questions that they have to answer before they can get to the calendar. We're going to take their information as the first question, and we're going to do like, I think they call it like, I can't remember, like Typeform calls it something where they take the information and do like a hard cutoff. So we're going to take their name and email. If they finish the questions and they get to the calendar, cool. If they don't finish the questions, we still have their contact information for our setters to call them up and put them on our email list, call them up, set them on an appointment, see if they're qualified. What we want to do is we want to qualify here. So for example, if you have specific credit score requirements, you only want to speak to people who have 3K or more, or you only want to speak to people who are ready to make a change in the next 7 days or immediately or whatever it is, then you can add these questions in, and then you'll end up with 2 results. One is confirmation, which is like, hey, cool, you're able to book a call, and it will show them the calendar. Or this one, which is sorry, which is like, hey, sorry, you're not a fit at this time, but check out my free school community, but check out my email list, but download this free ebook, but do X, Y, Z. Because they're still interested in the goal. They're just not qualified to speak with you for your high ticket offer. So then what you've basically done is you've funneled everyone into the top of the funnel. They've all got to the VSL page. If they're interested enough and they have some kind of urgency and they're problem aware, they will try and book a call. If they don't try and book a call, they probably weren't going to buy from you anyway. Okay, so just let them go. Then they fill in their name, email, and we capture that off the rip. Whether they book a call or not, we're going to capture it. They're going into our CRM. Then what we're going to do is we're going to give them a couple of questions to qualify. So I will also like to put one to help with the show rate, which is like, if you book a call and you don't show up and you don't let us know within 24 hours, we're not able to rebook you back in. Do you agree to show up on the call? Yes, I agree. Just to like cognitively get them like committed. Obviously your post booking should do a lot of that heavy lifting, but anyway, then you want to, capture that information and qualify them through these questions. So for example, here it's like, what's your goal? What's your biggest challenge? What like budget are you working with right now? What's the price range of your offer? How soon are you looking to get started? Who's your main audience? Then it will think about it. You don't have to have this in. This is just a nice effect, like computing or whatever. And then it'll either say, yeah, confirmed, ready to go, you're good, in which case they can book a call on the calendar. That's where you have the Calendly, or you have, sorry, like you're not a fit at this time. So and then you send them to a downsell, free thing, email list, whatever. So do you see how this is way, way better than just throwing a calendar link in your bio and just expecting people to have all the knowledge that you have, or at least enough knowledge and emotional buy-in to want to book a call with you? Because the thing about the VSL itself, the video, is you want to invoke emotion. And probably most people watching this have a B2C offer, although if you do have a B2B offer, it's exactly the same. That emotion is just invoked through logic. But the B2C, these people have pain, especially in BizOp, anything in finance, business, like any of that stuff, ecom, trading, Airbnb, like how to start an agency, like all of those are BizOp, business opportunity. People have a pain point rooted in finance, time, freedom, partner, money, stress, can't sleep, want to go on holiday, want to buy a nice car, want to pay off the mortgage, want to retire my parents. They have pain and they have goals. And it's your job to invoke that pain, bring it to the surface, and then get them to book a call. Because not only will they be more bought in, especially if your calendar's only open for like the following 48 hours or something, get them as bought in as possible, book them on a call, pre-call assets, do the heavy lifting, and then you close them, or you disqualify them, or whatever. You can't close them, whatever. But then the ones that are not qualified, you send them to a free community or something like that where they still get value from you, so that when they are at the point where they're qualified, whether it be time, money, whatever, you're top of mind for them. Okay. So if we look at this, actually what it looks like, we have 2 options. This is what you're doing right now. Whoa, sorry, I didn't mean to make this so chaotic. This one is what you're doing right now. So you're getting traffic that you work hard for. May I just say, content is hard. It's not easy. You built a following, or you're paying for ads, so you get traffic. You're leaving them to self-diagnose, which 99% of the time it's just not a good idea because they're either not problem aware or solution aware or either. Your audience needs to be at least problem aware. Sometimes they're not even that. Mostly they will be, but you need them in order for them to self-diagnose. And what I mean by that is like actively choose which link tree to press on. They need to be problem aware and solution aware. They need to know, I need this solution. I need to book a call. I need to become a credit expert. I need to do this. I need to join the masterclass. That will solve my problem. That is the solution to my problem. Most of the time they don't know. Okay. Then they get somewhere in your ecosystem. So wherever they choose, if that's the thing that they're like, oh yeah, I'll join this, then they're somewhere in the ecosystem. And then one of two things happen. Either, and this is the minority of the time, makes sense, they get value, they become a client, or they get confused, they're like, this is not what I want, I can't, I don't know, like, I'm lost. Churn, lead lost. Okay? And just by having one, like, literally just by taking out the link tree and the Calendly link and the caravan.bio, whatever, and replacing it with a VSL, you basically remove all of this. The only time that you will get some, whatever, like some people who are confused is A, they don't remember doing it, which happens a lot, especially in BizOp, because they apply to like 10,000 things, or they thought it was one thing, but it's not, if your bio isn't clear or your content isn't clear. But mostly if you've got a good following, you've dialed in your ICP and you won't get much of this. This is what you want because you spend a lot of time and money and whatever on your content or your ads. So this is what you want. So how do we do that? Very simply, we do this. Traffic, VSL, call booked or DQ'd. You're literally telling them, traffic, you're going to this VSL, you're watching it, then you'll book a call, and I will tell you if you're qualified or not, and I will tell you if you can work with me. And it's that simple. I will drop the template, this exact template, both of these. The only difference between these is that this is a VSL, like straight off the rip. This is this funnel right here. And this one has a lead magnet and then a VSL. I prefer this one, honestly, because again, less friction. The less friction, the better. So I will put the template for this in the description so you can actually copy it into your, I like Perspective to build funnels because they're fast. They load really fast. So I'll put that in the description. You can actually open it in your account. I think they have a free trial. You can actually copy it, edit it, and use that. As well, and also the free school community that we have, which literally shows you how to scale your offer for free, tells you everything you need to know, getting your show rate up, your post booking, I know I mentioned that, the emails that need to come after they've opted into this, everything is in that free school community. If you do want it done for you, of course we do that, so my calendar link will be in the description, and we can chat. But honestly, most of what you need is this funnel and that free school community. If you have money to spare and you're like, yep, I can't be asked, just do it for me, cool, book a call, and I'll see you on there. But please, for the love of God, I will down this hill. No more link trees. Link trees are banished. No more Calendly links. Like, let's just, we're not taking that into 2026.